Hello. Welcome to the Three Attic Network stream. I am merrymitch, and I'm hoping that this here stream meets you in some good spirits. We are going to be reading some tales today, and man, I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it. As I said, am the one and the only merrymitch, and I today have been looking into a couple of stories on a different site. Previously, we've been doing readings from legendarytor.com, which provides a platform for a whole slew of really talented writers to put their stories up and for the world to read, and more specifically for me to read aloud. But I have also found a site called Lightspeed Magazine. It seems like there may be some pretty cool tales on that one as well, so I'm looking forward to checking those out. Let's see. My day's been pretty darn good so far. I got up, I listened to some music, I ate me some delicious eggs, and I beat one of the challenges in Binding of Isaac, the Baptism by Fire challenge. That one's especially tough because it gives you this one item that requires souls to work. So you gotta manage your souls so that basically you don't run out and soft lock yourself. There are a number of ways that the player is able to kind of help with that by means of like acquiring familiars or other things to help you collect the souls, so that you don't run out. It was the last on my list of challenges to complete, so now I'm gonna be figuring out how to unlock some more, because my goal is to finish the whole dang list there. But yeah, so I grinded away a little bit at that, watched some YouTube, and now I appear before you today. Yesterday was pretty fun. I did a white elephant gifting, and I can actually show you. I created a little art piece to put into the gift pool, and ended up pretty proud of it. See if it'll show up well on camera here. Wait. Oh yeah, it's a little hard to see, but it is a Super Saiyan Santa. And man, it was really fun to put together, especially figuring out how to draw the beard. The beard, I don't know if again, it may be hard to see. Hey, there we go. The beard, figuring out how to create the beard in the DBZ style was something else. And then instead of the Kamehameha, it's he's summoning a sleigh bell. Pretty darn sweet. Heck yeah. I figured they asked for about a $20 submission. So I was like, shoot, 4 hours of my time to put that together is most likely worth at least $20. And the kid that got it ended up really liking it. So that was pretty darn sweet. And I got myself a candle. Pretty sweet. It's a nice smelling candle. I think I'll light it in my bathroom or something. And yeah, it was pretty sweet. All right, well, let's bring us over to the stories. there are, I've loaded up, let's see, I've loaded up 4 stories. One is called The Ash Girl and the Salmon Prince. That would be part 1. So that one might be cool because, we can read part 1 today and then jump back into part 2 the next time. We have backontour.com, read by Ramsey Shahade. This one is a young man grieving for his lost sister steps into the world of their favorite board game in a desperate attempt to find her. Pretty cool, right? This one is called Friends Till the End by Bethany Neal. In Friends Till the End, death isn't the end for Emily Winstead, not even close. She died with a wrong to make right, and she's been given a second chance to set things straight. The only problem? Her memories are hazy. She doesn't know who to trust or even why she's back, but she does know something about how she died. Broke the course of fate, and it's her ghostly mission to mend it. Pretty cool, right? Let's see. I don't think these ones have little summaries. So for these ones, we would have to go just from the title alone. But do any of these in particular kind of suit your fancy? Got a pretty small crowd this time around, so I figured I'd ask. All right. My pick, The Ash Girl. All right. Yeah, let's check this one out. This is the new website after all. Let's see what it has in store for us. Also, it looks as though my mic is a little quieter. That would be why. There we go. I think I ought to be coming through a little bit clearer now. Apologies. I didn't realize voice mod loaded up without it activated. Oh man. You guys tell me though, is the voice a little bit clear? Apologies for the initial audio switch. I don't know, let's see. Not entirely sure what kind of ambiance would fit the Ash Girl and the Salmon Prince. So, we're gonna do a little bit of searching. But first, gotta pause the sweet jams. All right. I think this one will do. Let's check on one other one, though. I kind of like this one. I like the vibe on this one. This is Hyrenic Village. All right. Well, let us embark then. So, this is The Ash Girl and the Salmon Prince, Part 1, by P.H. Lee and Rachel Swirsky. I have heard it on the rumors that when the Tale Spinners Guild gathers in their secret places, a full half of them are sworn to never tell the truth, and the other half to never tell a lie, even if it mean their life. Being one of that trade myself, I can tell you that's more or less the shape of it. And I tell you so that you will know that the tale I tell you now is true, just as it happened, and just as it was told to me. For I am one of the ones sworn to the truth. The name I'm called is Dusty Boots. I come from the valley of Erwile, and I am in love with a girl that I can never have. The tale I tell you now comes from the Brecon Fords along the Icicle Coast, where the land is gray and green, and the fishers pluck their living from the sea. Once upon a time, and not so long ago, there lived in a hovel on the shores of Westford a fisherman and his wife with 3 daughters. The oldest as beautiful as the day, the next as beautiful as the night, and the youngest a plain girl of little account, with nothing to recommend her save, perhaps, obedience. The fisherman and his wife loved their first 2 daughters, but they were poor, and there was nothing much that they could give them. As for the youngest daughter, they had nothing to give but chore work, not even a place to sleep. So in the end, she had to sleep in the fire pit amongst the ashes. She had a name. They had given her that, at least. But because she slept amongst the ashes, they called her the Ash Girl. One day, the fisherman was out casting his nets along the shallows of the ford, when his net caught upon some great form beneath the waters. He struggled and fought, and in no time at all, his little boat was pulled far out into the depths, far beyond where he had ever been before. Out beyond the side of the shore, where the waves lapped the edges of his boat, and the winds blew shards of ice against his beard. With one look around him, he knew that he was lost. But all the same, he was a fisherman, and proud of his labor. And so still he wrestled his nets, calling out to the fish in the ancient rhyme. "O fish of the sea, hearken to me. Come from the waves to answer my plea. Once we were brothers above the sky. Now for one to eat, the other must die. O hearken to me, swift fish of the sea. Give up your flesh and set your soul free." No sooner had he finished his rhyme than out from his net leapt the most brilliant salmon he had ever seen, steel-headed, with scales in red and rainbow. As quick as he could, he leapt upon the salmon, holding it down with his body, while he reached about for his leaded club. The salmon struggled and thrashed, but the fisherman held it tight against the boat, and in the end, just as he was lifting his club to end its life, the fish cried out, "Mercy! Mercy! I yield! I yield! Brother, do not strike me dead!" "Well, I'll be," said the fisherman aloud, biting off the blasphemy. "A talking fish! That's not something you see every day." "I am no ordinary fish," said the fish, "for I am a salmon, the prince of all fishes, lord of the seas and lord of the streams, endowed by ancient right and ancient custom with the primordial magics of the water above the sky. Spare me, brother, and I shall place my might and magic at your discretion. Spare me, brother, and I will promise you a boon." "Well," said the fisherman, I know better than to get involved with any part of a talking fish, nor would I want any part with a prince. This is just the sort of thing from my stories my dear old gran once told me, and not a one of those stories ever ended up happily. No, my life is hard enough as it is already. Return to the sea, brother, and let us never speak of this again." And with that, he hefted up the fish and turned it over the side of the boat. "You are wise," said the fish, "and yet, regardless, you have spared me, and regardless, my life is in your debt. If you ever should wish a boon of me, brother, you must only let me know." "If you mean it truly," said the fisherman, eyeing the waves and the weather, "then I ask no more than that you transport me safely to the shores of my hovel, which have been my home ever since I was born. For in our struggle, you have pulled my little boat far out into the depths, far beyond where I have ever been before, beyond the sight of the shore, and I fear that without your aid, I will surely capsize, and twice as surely drown." "It is done," declared the fish, and even as he spoke those words aloud, the seas calmed, and the waves withdrew. Presently there came a swell, gentle but strong, that lifted up the fisherman's little boat and carried him all the way back to his hovel on the shores of Wessard. No sooner had he landed on the shore than his wife came out of their hovel. "Husband, you're back so soon. And where is your catch for today? For if again you have nothing to put up, then surely by this winter we will starve." "Wife," said the fisherman, "in truth, I do not think you shall believe me, but I promise you that this is the whole truth of it." And then he told her the entire story about how his boat was dragged out to the open waters, beyond the sight of the land, about the Prince of Fishes and his magic and his promises. When she heard what he had done, his wife gasped, then cuffed his ears, then blasphemed aloud. "What a fool of a fisherman I've married," she said. "I should have listened to my mother. I should have married the weaver." "I'm sorry, my dear wife. How is it that I've failed you?" asked her husband, still smarting from her cuff. He knew better than to argue. "You had in your power a salmon, the magical prince of all fishes. And what boon did you ask? Merely to return home. Think for a moment of us, your family. Think of the squalor in which we live. Think of our two beautiful daughters. Not a penny of dowry between them. She did not mention the Ash Girl. She did not often think of her youngest daughter, unless there was a chore still left undone. Oh, said the fisherman, that is true. So you agree, said his wife. You must go back to the fish and ask for a proper boon. A snug little cottage for us, with servants and dowries for our beautiful daughters. The next morning, the fisherman went out onto Westward in his little boat. But before he cast his nets upon the shallows, he called out to the Salmon Prince. O Prince of the Sea, hearken to me. Rise from the waves to answer my plea. My wife on the shore sent me to implore. She's heard of your boon, and she wants something more. Oh, hearken to me, great Prince of the Sea. You offered a promise. I've come to agree. No sooner had he finished his rhyme than out from the sea leapt the same salmon prince that he had caught the day before. Brother, said the fish, you have spared me, and my life is in your debt. What is the boon you would wish of me? It's not for me, but for my beautiful daughters, and for my wife, who has a will of her own. She wishes for a snug little cottage for us, with servants and gardens, and dowries for our two beautiful daughters. It will be done, said the fish. But first, brother, because we are brothers, and there should be nothing between us, I have a blessing to ask of you in return. Is that so? Asked the fisherman, skeptical. It is merely, said the fish, that I ask that you consider me as a groom for one of your beautiful daughters. Being as I am a prince, it is surely a good match for you. But you are a fish, said the fisherman. What should you want with a human wife? It is true that I am a fish, but it is also true that I am a salmon. And in our ancient rites and customs, our conjugal bed and our deathbed are one and the same. To marry is, for us, to die. In the course of the seas and streams, though, I have heard it told of humans and of human wives, of their love and their comfort and the magic of happily ever after. So of course I wish to find such a match for myself, to live and love in bliss and until death do us part. An enchanted human marriage, not the struggles of the salmon. All fight and rot, and death and doom in every headwater. Well, said the fisherman, I'll have to ask my wife. I'll have to ask my wife. And with that, he returned to fish. He returned to the fish of the sea. Hey, what's up, Beaver Tech? Welcome, man. I hope I find you in some good spirits. And thank you for redeeming.
Hydration! Commence hydration.
This has been
the water time, the time in which merrymitch drinks water.
Thank you for redeeming hydration. This has been the time in which Merry Mitch drinks water. The Don't Starve stream. I think I actually own that game. So if we are doing some Don't Starve together later on today, I might be able to join. When the fisherman returned to his hovel, his wife was already at the door, berating him. Look at this hovel! Does this look like a snug little cottage to you? How is it, my fool of a husband, that you have failed to gain a wish not only once, but twice? I should have listened to my mother about you. I should have married a weaver. I should have married too. She cuffed him twice across the face. Psh, psh. Wife, it's true. I have failed to gain your boon. But the cost, wife, was altogether too great. The magic fish, who has heard tales of human love and human wives, has asked for the hand of one of our beautiful daughters. Think of them, dear wife. Think of how beautiful they are. One as beautiful as the day, the other as beautiful as the night. How could we give one of them up to a mere fish? To live our years beneath the waves, so far from us in the world of men. Surely a snug little cottage, even one with servants, cannot be worth so much to us as that. At that, his wife began to hit him in earnest. Fool! She called him. Idiot! Good for nothing incompetent! I'm sorry, he cried, although he did not know what he was sorry for. Have you forgotten, my fool of a fisherman, that we have 3 daughters? Of course we could never give up one of our beautiful daughters. Who of us could ever bear their loss? But we have a 3rd daughter, you know. She may be plain, she may be stupid, but at least she has the virtue of obedience. All she does is sleep in filth and get herself underfoot. Surely for a cottage, we could spare her. Surely for 2 daughters' dowries, we could give her up to the sea. Even if your fish is not as magic as all that, at least we shall be spared the mouth to feed. Right on. Remy might be doing some Don't Starve together. But the fish did not ask for a plain wife, said the fisherman, who knew better than to answer back, but nonetheless could not help himself. He asked for a beautiful wife. Surely he shall notice our substitution. Surely we should not so invite the wrath of a salmon, the principal fish. But that's just it, said his wife. He's a fish. What does he know of a beautiful girl from a plain one? If we say that she's beautiful, surely he will believe us, and surely he will be content. And then think, with a fish but a son-in-law, there's no limit to what we might manage ourselves.
Just as you say, my wife, said the fisherman, and went inside to tell his daughters. No freaking way. The voice might have still been on.
I'm sorry about that. Forgot to switch it. Shoot. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. The members of the story found themselves within a cavern for for a slight bit there. All right. After the fisherman told the ash girl of her engagement, her beautiful sisters were furious. They shouted and screamed and tore at their hair, though they looked no less beautiful for all of it. "Usurping bitch!" they screamed at the ash girl, who had not even said anything. "We are your older sisters, as beautiful as the day and as beautiful as the night. How is it that you, plain and stupid as can be, with only obedience to recommend you, are married before us? What kind of sister usurps her elder's place? Clearly we have not yet humbled you enough. Clearly, somehow, you have yet grown proud." They surrounded her and pushed her back and forth until she cried. "No, no, girls," said their father. "It's not like any of that. Rather consider this, that by our match with your sister, we shall gain for ourselves not only a snug little cottage and servants besides, but also the value of your dowries, that we might marry you to men as rich as your beauty deserves, men who will keep you in peace and comfort for all of your days. Do not be jealous of your sister's lot, for she goes beneath the waters a sea bride." With that, the beautiful sisters were mollified. The ash girl, though, was terrified. She did not want to go beneath the waves, but what was she to do? Her only virtue was obedience. There was nothing for it but to cry, which she did, at least until her mother told her to be quiet. The next morning, the fisherman got the ash girl up before dawn. "It's time to go," he said quietly, so as to not wake his wife and beautiful daughters. "Bring your things." As she looked around the single room of theirs, she began once again to cry, but worried that she might wake her mother and sisters, she shut her eyes as her father led her out the door and down to his little boat on the shore. Perhaps when he saw her start to cry, he took her hand and gave her at least a moment of comfort. Perhaps he felt something for her in that moment. Some love, or at least some short compassion. I would like to think so. I would like to think that he whispered in her ear some advice and some love. For even though she was not his favorite daughter, she was his daughter nonetheless. I would like to say that, but in truth, I do not know. If he ever felt such things, if he ever said such words, they are not told in his story. At least, not as I have ever heard it. Perhaps he said those things. Perhaps he did those things. But perhaps simply he gave his daughter to the sea with no more caution than a trade good, and no more emotion than grim relief. Once they had set out on his little boat, the fisherman cast his net once more upon the shallows, calling to the fish he'd promised. "O Prince of the Sea, hearken to me. Rise from the waves to answer my plea. You asked for a bride, to love and to guide. I bring you my daughter, to dwell by your side. O hearken to me, wise Prince of the Sea. Take your betrothed, I give her to thee." No sooner had he finished his rhyme than out of the sea leapt the same salmon prince that he had caught the day before. "Oh, brother," said the fish once he had entered the boat, "it does my heart glad to see you once again. Have you given any thought to my proposal?" When the ash girl caught sight of the fish in her father's net, her breath stopped in her throat. How beautiful! His red and rainbow scales! How noble! His princely countenance! She clenched her fists against her racing heart and tried to look away, to hide her sudden love for him. But he was so beautiful that she could not bear to look away, not even for a moment. Still, with her long-practiced complacence, she did not make a sound. Or if she did, her father didn't notice it. "I have, sir," said the fisherman, "and I have brought for you my daughter, on account that she makes her bed in the coals of the day's fire. We call her Ash Girl. Good sir, I hope that you like her well enough." From the bottom of the net, the fish looked the girl up and down with one cold, fishy eye. "She's wonderful," he said. "And she is beautiful, isn't she?" "Oh, yes, of course," lied the fisherman. "As beautiful as the sun and the moon." Yes," said the fish, who was in the end a fish, and in the end did not know a beautiful woman from an ugly one. Ah, shoot. Thank you, Conch. Thank you, Kingy. "I can see how radiant she is. And I have her consent to marry her?" The fisherman looked surprised. He had not considered this at all. "Well, that is, he said, unprepared to lie. "Yes," said the ash girl. "Yes, yes, yes." The fisherman showed her the edge of a smile. "Well, then that's all done. Here you have her. Don't forget, a snug little cottage. With servants and dowries for your other daughters. Yes, yes, of course," said the fish. "It is already done. Go home now, and leave me with my bride." The fisherman didn't have to be told twice. Leaving his daughter in the sea, he rowed as fast as he could back towards the shore. He didn't once look back. As soon as her father's boat had vanished over the horizon, the ash girl, now floating as best she could in the sea, the cold sea brine, spoke to her new husband. "Oh, husband, I hope that you do not find me presumptuous while I say, I love you. I loved you as soon as I saw you, your beautiful scales and your princely countenance. I give myself to you now, to do with as you will. Please take me into your care and do not misuse me." "Oh, wife," said the fish, "truly, I cannot imagine a greater happiness.
If you want anything, you only need to say it.
At first, not wanting to seem insolent, she said nothing. But in time, her arms became tangled in the waves, and she could feel her strength leaving her, until at last, she spoke aloud.
Beloved husband, she said, please do not think me insolent. But though I love you as your wife, your home is still the sea, and as I swim here, my arms grow tired and tangled in the waves. I fear that soon I shall be drowned, and should I drown here, there will be no marriage left between us, only the sorrowed edge of death. Beloved wife, said the fish, do not doubt and do not fear. This matter is easy to resolve. Simply undo your dress and float freely in the waves, and the water shall tire you no more. Beloved husband, said the girl, I dare not remove my dress. It is immodest, and without my modesty I shall surely die. O wife, said the fish, are we not husband and wife? And is it not thus only right that we know each other's nakedness? Undo your dress. I promise I shall make no matter of it.
With that, the girl undid her dress until floated freely in the water beside her. And in no short time, she felt herself restored.
Wonderful!
She laughed and swam in circles around her husband, the fish, who leapt in the sun and splashed her playfully. The two of them kept like this for some time, until the girl's skin began to twist in the cold, and she began to shiver.
Beloved wife, asked the fish, what's your matter now? Beloved husband, she said, please do not think me insolent, but though I love you as your wife, your home is still the sea, and as I swim here my skin grows cold and twisted in the brine. I fear that soon I shall be drowned, and should I drown here, there will be no marriage left between us, only the sorrow edge of death. Beloved wife, said the fish, do not doubt and do not fear. This matter is easy to resolve. Simply undo your skin and leave it aside, and the ice shall trouble you no more.
Undo my skin? Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's, sure. Yeah.
Beloved husband, said the girl, I dare not remove my skin. It is immodest, and without my modesty I shall surely die. Oh, wife, said the fish, are we not husband and wife? And is it not thus only right that we should know each other's nakedness? Undo your skin. I promise I shall make no matter of it.
With that, the girl undid her skin until it floated freely in the water beside her, and in no short time, she felt herself restored.
Wonderful!
She laughed and swam in circles around her husband, the fish, who weaved between her legs and splashed her playfully. The two of them kept like this for some time, until the fish said,
Wife, the hour is growing late. We must soon return to my palace beneath the sea, where I rule as prince of all fishes. Together, they dove into the water. But no sooner did they dive beneath the waves than the girl began to choke. "Beloved wife," asked the fish, "what's your matter now?"
See if I can do this.
She said with the last of her breath.
Hang on, I can do it. I can do it.
"Beloved wife," said the fish, "do not doubt and do not fear. This matter is easy to resolve. Simply leave aside your bones, and leave them aside. And leave them aside, and the water shall trouble you no more." What could the ash girl do? She did not have the strength to argue back. She left aside her bones and continued through the water as the wriggling fish of her pure soul, without clothes or skin or bones to hold her. Once she had done so, and once she had swum ahead, her husband carefully gathered up her dress and her skin and her bones, and tied them together into a bundle. In due course, they arrived at the fish's residence, a great palace beneath the sea, room after room of it, swarming with servants, grown in the opulent colors of ivory and jewels. When the ash girl saw the palace, she was astonished. "Oh, husband, this palace is much too grand for me. Only this morning I was an ash girl, without even a proper bed to sleep in. Truly, I am not worthy of such things." "Nonsense," said the fish. "I am a prince and you are my bride. This is my palace. All this that you see and all that's within yours to command, save aside the particular room which is my own, and no one else may enter, for it contains the source of all my magic, and without it we would be lost." "Oh, husband," she began, but just then a swarm of anchovy servants descended on them, greeting them warmly, cooing over the beauty of the ash girl, dressing them both in fineries, bringing them everything to eat. It was late at night before they were once more alone, and by then she had quite forgotten what she was going to say.
Hang on.
That sounded like hatch doors. Do you smell it? That smell. A kind of smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells. Smelly. Anchovies.
Why?
anchovies!
When they get swarmed by the anchovy servants.
Meat, 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 meat.
It was late at night before they were once more alone, and by then she had quite forgotten what she was going to say. Later, as they lay together in their bed of kelp, the fish spoke to his new wife.
Dear wife,
He said,
there is a thing that troubles me. Oh, my dear husband,
said the girl.
now that we are wed, you should have no more troubles. At least not on this our wedding night. Speak, please. Speak, and it shall be done. It is simply,
Began the fish.
that you were once called Ash Girl, because you slept in the ashes. But now you are a fine lady, the wife of a prince, with a palace and servants to command. It does not seem right that we should still name you Ash Girl. But I do not know what you should be called.
Being called Ash Girl did bother her, at least a little. Even when her beloved husband said the name, she could not help but hear her cruel mother's curse in it. But she did not want to seem presumptuous, so she said,
Oh, husband, you are so kind to think of it, but you need not worry. My name is fine as it is. When you say it to me, with the love in your voice, I barely hear my mother's curse in it. My wife, I love you,
said the fish.
and I do not want you to hear even the edge of a curse in my name for you. So, if you will, I shall call you a name. Eleanor, I think, because you are beautiful. Oh, husband,
She said, and embraced him happily. Months passed, and although Eleanor was happy, living as a fish with her husband in his palace beneath the sea, still she thought from time to time of her family, and in due course she began to swim up towards where they dwelt in their snug little cottage by the shore, to watch them pass their lives and days on land. The joys and waters of her new home had washed away the pain of her memories, and so she longed to join them, to once again see her mother and her sisters and her father. She imagined that they would greet her and praise her for everything that she had done for them, and weep with happiness, knowing that they had given her into a happy life and a happy marriage, that she still lived, that she had not been left to drown. She longed for all these things, but she was now only her pure and naked soul, without dress or skin or bones. So how could she return to the land and meet her family as their daughter once again?
oh, if only I had my skin again,
She sighed to herself.
then I could return to my family on land.
So she began to search through every room of the fish's palace, looking for her lost skin. Weeks later, after she had searched in every room except the single room that was saved aside as her husband's, she spoke to him over supper.
Beloved husband,
She said,
truly your palace and our life within it is nothing but extraordinary. I do not want you to think that I want for anything. It is only that,
but here she lost her nerve.
it's nothing.
She said,
Oh, wife,
said her husband.
do not set aside your heart for my sake. Is there anything that you desire? You need merely speak it, and it is yours. Dearest husband, she said, how kind you are to me. It is only that in these many months without my family, I have taken it into my mind that I might visit them on land again. For to see them and embrace them, and let them know that they need not worry on my behalf. Let them know how happy my life is here with you. But wife, said the fish, your family despised you. They beat you and made you work unceasingly. They did not even give you a bed of your own. You had to sleep in ashes, and they called you Ash Girl for it. Still, she said, for joy and salt water had washed away the pain of her memory. I'm sure that they loved me in their own way. I'm sure that they would be happy to see me again. How could they fail to love me? They are my family that bore and raised me. When he heard her account of her own family, the fish was first vexed, but eventually he relented. Perhaps he had simply seen things wrong. After all, he was a fish. What did he know of a human family, of human kindness, or human cruelty? If you want to visit them, he said at last, I will not prevent it. When she heard this, Eleanor leapt up and smothered him with kisses. Oh, husband, she cried, thank you for your lenience. I promise that no ill shall come of it. But there is another thing. Oh? Asked the fish. If I am to visit my family, I go before them as I am now, with only the bare fish for my soul. I need to don once more my dress, and skin, and bones, so that I can visit them as a human girl. But try as I might, I cannot find them anywhere. I've looked over the entire palace, save for the one room that is yours alone. Do you know, perhaps, where we have kept them? The fish sighed. He did not want to admit that. Afraid his wife would tire of him, he had hidden away her dress and skin and bones. But his wife seemed so sad, and he loved her very much. And in the end, he could tell her nothing but the truth. Oh, you have not found your things, he said. For they are in the single room that is kept aside for me. I secreted them there when you first arrived, fearing that if you wore your human form once more, you would abandon me for your love and the land that never return again to our palace in the cold and briny depths. Oh, husband, she said, you do not have to fear such things from me. I love you. I love our life together at the bottom of the sea. It is only that I miss my family. And they must be worried about me in all these months, and not a word from me for comfort. You say that now, said the fish, but when you have returned to your land, back once more in your bones and skin and dress, by 3 nights all your time beneath the sea will seem to you to be merely a dream, to be forgotten in the morning. Oh, please, said Eleanor. Oh, please let me go and see them, if only for a day, if only for an hour. What could he do? The fish could not bear to lose his beloved wife, but likewise, he could not bear to hear the longing in her voice. Beloved wife, he said, In truth, I do not understand you. I am a salmon. My parents died in the breeding of me. My brothers and sisters are but strangers to me still. The only inclination I have to return to my home is an inclination towards my death. But you are a woman, my beloved human wife. If you tell me you must visit your family, then you must visit your family. I only ask that you return to me before the night of the third day, lest all your nights beneath the sea seem to you only a dream, to be forgotten in the morning. I promise I shall return, she said. I promise I shall not forget you. Oh, my love, said the fish, do not make me a promise that you cannot keep. I cannot bear to lose you, but neither can I bear to see you so distraught. I would rather have you happy and me bereft than to have you so caught up in misery. I will go then to my secret room and retrieve for you your bones and skin and dress. Go to your family, and with my blessing. Oh, husband, she cried, thank you for your lenience. I shall not forget you, I promise, not even if 100 years would pass. Beloved wife, said the fish, do not make a promise that you cannot keep. I only ask this. Even if you should forget me, even if you should think I am only a dream or only a story, remember that I still love you. If I am only a dream to you, then I shall love you as a dream. If I am only a story, then I shall love you as a story. Then I shall go to your particular room and retrieve my bones and skin and all the rest, said Eleanor. No, said the fish, I will go. For that particular room no one shall enter except for me, for it has inside it the source of all my magic, and without it we would both be lost.
And with that, he went into his secret room and retrieved his wife's bones and skin and dress, and the anchovy servants dressed her in them carefully and returned her to the shore. The fish had been as good as his word. When Eleanor arrived back home, she found not the hovel of her childhood, but a snug little cottage, with a garden and servants coming and going. One of them, a woman in the middle of her years, approached her.
Who shall I say is calling? Oh, it's Eleanor,
Said Eleanor, but then remembered that of course her mother wouldn't know her by that name.
Tell her that her daughter has returned.
When the fisherman's wife heard that her daughter had returned, she hurried out to the courtyard in excitement. But when she saw Eleanor, she was at first confused, then disappointed.
Oh,
She said,
it's only you. Mother,
said Eleanor, moving to embrace her.
I've missed you so.
But her mother had already turned away and would not embrace her.
While you're here,
She said,
you may as well clean the fireplace again. It's gotten ever so filthy while you've been off neglecting your chores and doing God only knows beneath the sea. But, Mother,
said Eleanor. Good man, thank you.
but Mother, surely you have servants who can clean the fireplace now? Oh, my dear, said her mother, but they can never clean it half as well as you could. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm quite busy. I'm sure there'll be time for you to chit-chat later.
And with that, she turned and made her way inside, not looking back at her daughter even once. What else could she do? Eleanor made her way inside and began to clean the fireplace. Her mother didn't call her for dinner, so she didn't even stop to eat a bite until some of the servants took pity on her and gave her some of the leftovers from their supper. Finally, late in the night, she went looking for a palace to sleep, or for a place to sleep, and her mother found her.
What are you doing wandering about then?
Asked her mother.
Oh, mother,
Said Eleanor, and tried to embrace her again. Her mother shrugged her off.
already done with your cleaning then? Yes, mother. Is there any place where I can sleep here? Oh, no, I'm afraid. There's just no room. But I can see that there are empty rooms. Oh, no, dear. Those are your beautiful sister's rooms. We have to leave them just as they are, in case they decide to come visit. Which they will, of course, the next time their no-good husbands run out of money. A dowry doesn't last as long as you think it might, dear. Even a good one. And now here you are, asking for a place to sleep. I give and I give and I give, and yet it's never enough for you. Is there no end to daughters and their incessant complaints?
Eleanor couldn't make no reply to that.
And anyway, continued her mother, if you won't sleep in the ashes, then how can we ever call you our ash girl? Actually, my name is Eleanor now,
Said Eleanor, but her mother had already left. What could she do? In the end, she could do nothing but make her bed in the ashes of the fireplace, just as she always had before. 2 days passed, much as the first one had, but on the evening of the third day, when Eleanor at last set back toward her home, the sea, her mother came to her in tears.
Oh, my dear, you can't possibly be leaving already. We barely had any time to talk. Oh, no,
Said Eleanor.
Mother, I must return to my home, the sea. I promised my husband I would stay no more than 3 days. Oh, posh,
Said her mother.
what do husbands know? Your husband is just some overgrown trout. What do you owe to him? You've given him everything and left nothing for me. Your own mother who bore you and raised you up my own. You must stay another night. I really must go, though,
Said Eleanor, and began to explain about the magic. But her mother interrupted her.
I've often said, my dear, that there is nothing to recommend you save your obedience. And now it seems you have abandoned even that. Poor girl, born so stupid and so ugly. It does you no good to add obstinance to the rest of your flaws. Stay. You must stay. But mother, no more buts from you, girl. And of course there is more yet for you to clean. Get back in the house, and I won't hear another word of it.
Yeah, I guess it is Cinderella but with fishes? Question mark? Honestly, not sure. Yeah, let me get a sip of water. There are two parts to this story. Gotta say, it's at least thus far, it's been entertaining. Oh shoot! Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Been trying, you know?
Honestly, yeah, Kingy. This has been a wild journey. The moment that the fish asked her to take off her skin, yep, that alone. What could she do? She returned to the house. She spent another night there. And when she awoke in the morning, it seemed to her that her time beneath the sea had been only some dream or fantasy. A tidbit of some story she had heard, to be forgotten in the morning. Bear seek lest? What?
Bear seek lest. Bear seek lest.
Seek just sounds like sick. Oh, sick.
I've been really sick lately. Just so sick.
Hey, anytime. And with that, I must leave off our tale for now. But, you ask, how can that simply be the end of it? Well now, that entirely depends on the sort of person that you are. If perhaps you are the sort of person who scoffs at happy endings, who looks out at our world full of misery, and wonders why stories must always end with happily ever after. If for you, a story must show all the pain of the world and more, then for you, let this be the end of the story. A simple girl found her happiness, then lost it forever. A mother scorned her daughter, and proposed and prospered therefrom. Surely, in that tale there is misery enough to satisfy. But if perhaps you are the sort of person who wants a different story, a story where true love triumphs and cruelty is met with justice, then fear not for this tale, for I have not even told the half of it. There are yet twists and turns to it. There are betrayals and redemptions yet to come. As to the ending, though, I will make no promises. But surely, it cannot be as cruel as this. End of part 1. Alright, I can try. Let's see, we're looking for... Wait. Uh, bu- 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 Going to be saying this line. Oh. Oh, it's Control Plus. Alright, here we go.
black bug bit the big black bear and made the big black bear bleed black blood. Black bug bit the big black bear and made the big black bear bleed black blood. That's a bit of a tongue twister if you say it quick. Black bug bit the black bear and made the big black bear bleed black blood. Starts to sound just like blip 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 blip. Hey, anytime, Randy. Do we want to save this? Nah, it's okay. Oh yeah, they do little words about the people. So P.H. Lee. P.H. Lee lives on top of an old walnut tree, past a thicket of roses, down a dead-end street at the edge of town. Their work has appeared in many venues, including Clark's World, Lightspeed, and Uncanny Magazine. From time to time, they microwave and eat a frozen burrito at 2 in the morning, for no other reason than that they want to. That's quite the bio. And Rachel Swirsky. Rachel Swirsky graduated from the Clarion West Writers Workshop in 2005 and holds an MFA in fiction from the Lowell Writers Workshop. Her short stories have been nominated for the Hugo Award, the World Fantasy Award, and the Locus Award, amongst others. She's also twice won the Nebula Award, once for her novella, The Lady Who Plucked Red Flowers Beneath the Queen's Window, and again for her short story, If You Were a Dinosaur, My Love. Her first collection, Through the Drowsy Dark, is available from Aqueduct Press. Her second, How the World Became Quiet, came out from Subterranean Press in 2010. Visit her website, chat with her on Twitter, or support her on Patreon, where she posts one new piece of fiction or poetry each month. You know what? I'm gonna send her a message on Twitter. Whoa. Am I not logged in? What? Am I logged in here? Wait, no. I could have sworn I was logged in. Okay, it's trying to make me sign in, I think. Oh wait, sorry, holy heck. I can't believe you pulled that off. Oh, thanks, Kingy. Apparently some Scotsmen can't say purple burglar alarm. Purple burglar alarm. Purple burglar alarm. That would be hard. Not gonna lie. Apparently most also don't know that a kilogram of steel is heavier than a kilogram of feathers. What? Steel is heavier than feathers. But I mean, they weigh the same, right? How would that work? Hang on, I'm gonna try to log into Twitter one more time. Oh, here we go. I am logged in. Weird. Well, here she is, yo. Let's message her.
I can show Twitter on Twitch, right? That's a normal thing. I'll keep it over on the side. What should we say? Hey, just read you and Ep8 Lee's short story, Ash Girl and the Salmon Prince. Ash Girl and the Salmon Prince. Would love to chat sometime about your process in its creation. And what the morals behind the story are. Also, the part where the fish told the Ash Girl to take off her skin really, how do I put this? Really left me speechless. All the best. merrymitch. All right, cool. Dude, I know. It stuck with me too. Well, all right. I guess we go on to part 2. Is there a link to it here? No. But it's right over here. Gather round while Dusty Boots continues this tale from the Great Sweet Sea. What do you think, guys? Do we read the latter half or start the latter half? Or do we wait till next time? Ash Girl finally gets her some lotion. Hopefully. Like, is this supposed to be more like a goofy fairy tale, or is it deeper than that? That's what I really want to ask her. If she responds, that's what I'm gonna ask, I think, first and foremost, is if this was meant to be silly, or if it was meant to have kind of this, that classic thing where a fairy tale surrounds a sort of moral or value or message. Diving into the wreck? What is that? Oh, it's a poem. From 1974? How do you know about this offhand? This seems kind of cool. Should we read this? Is it worth a read? Well, honestly, I'm glad to have you. If you got poem suggestions offhand, that is a sweet thing. Okay, yeah. Let's check this out. On poets.org. Poem a day. I might actually check that out. I do love me some poems. One of my favorite poems is Soft Rains. I don't know if you've heard that one. I forget who it's by. Oh, Sarah Teasdale, of course. Emerald, do you know Soft Rains from Sarah Teasdale? Oh, there will come soft rains, and the smell of ground, and swallows circling in their shimmering sound. And hang on. Hang on. I wrote a song based on this one. Yeah, there will come soft rains and the smell of ground, and swallows circling with their shimmering sound, and frogs in the pools singing at night, and wild plum trees in tremulous white. Robins will wear their feathery fire, whistling their whims on a low fence wire. And not one will know of the war, not one will care at last when it is done. Not one would mind, neither bored, neither bird nor tree, if mankind perished utterly. And spring herself, when she woke at dawn, would scarcely know that we were gone. Yeah, there's a short story that includes this within it. I think it's also titled Soft Rains. Um, Such a sick short story. I'll probably want to share that one again sometime. But I made a little song. Let's see. All right, I feel the music will need to be changed for this one. What is what's the feel of this poem? Is it solemn? Is it funny? Jolly? Solemn. Okay. Oh no. I clicked the wrong thing. My bad. All right, let's see. Yeah. This is Diving into the Wreck by Adrian Rich. First, having read the Book of Myths, and loaded the camera, and checked the edge of the knife blade, I put on the body armor of black rubber, the absurd flippers, the grave and awkward mask. I am having to do this, not like Cousteau with his assiduous team aboard the sun-flooded schooner, but here alone. There is a ladder. The ladder is always there, hanging innocently close to the side of the schooner. We know what it is for, we who have used it. Otherwise, it is a piece of maritime floss, some sundry equipment. I go down, rung after rung, and still the oxygen immerses me. The blue light, the clear atoms of our human air. I go down, my flippers cripple me. I crawl like an insect down the ladder, and there is no one to tell me when the ocean will begin. First, the air is blue, then it is bluer, and then green, and then black. I am blacking out, and yet my mask is powerful. It pumps my blood with power. The sea is another story. The sea is not a question of power. I have to learn alone, to turn my body without force, in the deep element. And now, it is easy to forget what I came for, among so many who have always lived here, swaying their crenellated fans between the reefs. And besides, you breathe differently down here. I came to explore the wreck. The words are purposes. The words are maps. I came to see the damage that was done and the treasures that prevail. I stroked the beam of my lamp slowly along the flank of something more permanent than fish or weed. The thing I came for, the wreck, and not the story of the wreck. The thing itself, and not the myth. The drowned face always staring toward the sun. The evidence of damage, worn by salt and sway into the threadbare beauty. The ribs of disaster, curving their assertion among the tentative haunters. This is the place, and I am here. The mermaid whose dark hair streams black. The merman in his armored body. We circle silently about the wreck. We dive into the hold. I am she. I am he. Whose drowned face sleeps with open eyes. Whose breasts still bear the stress. Whose silver, copper, vermeil cargo lies. Obscurely inside barrels, half wedged and left to rot. We are the half-destroyed instruments that once held to a course, the water-eaten log, the foul compass. We are, I am, you are, by cowardice or courage, the one who find our way back to this scene, carrying a knife, a camera, a book of myths, in which our names do not appear. So it was about a shipwreck, but also not. The awkwardness of performative identity. Thank you. Huh. It's about the awkwardness of performative identity. I gotta say, I'm not gonna say that I know what this means in of the slightest. It sounded pretty darn cool. However, I don't think I get its meaning. It would take a number of more reads for me, at least. Also, thank you for redeeming Stretch. I will do that first. Let's see. To stretch, I'll give you the option, Kingi. Do I do a handstand? Do I do a back bend? Or do I do kicks? Kicks, back bend, or handstand? The imagery is a lot to unpack. This was my introduction to queer literature back in high school. That's cool. All right, kicks. You got it. Yeah. All right, give me a sec. Here, I'll
I'll turn up the music while I do it. Where the music at? Oh yeah, I got it. All right. All right, gotta take off my boots. Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. What's up? Yeah. 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 All right. Booyah. Kick time complete. And now, it's time for hydration. Get ready for hydration. Initiating hydration. This has been hydration. Thank you for redeeming hydration. This has been the segment where Merry Mitch intakes water into his belly. We hope you enjoyed the hydration segment of this stream. I wonder what the poem of the day is. Oh. Oh. By Luis Munoz. Voice of the shopping bags whirled in the wind, like a small quarry between its claws to play with. Voice of the fry shops early, before anybody enters, freshly mopped, fluorescent. Oh, voz de las bolas de compra, revoloteadas en el viento, como una pequeña presa, entre las caras, con que jugar. Voz de las fredurias, temprano, antes de que nadie venga, recién freada, fluorescente. Hope I did okay on that one. I went and tried for reading out the Spanish. Huh, you can just kind of play them out to yourself. It's pretty cool. All right, hang on. This track is a little intense.
go back to this one for a while. Ah. Well, guys, what do you want to do for the last 15 minutes? Start one of these other stories? This one got some good comments. Some solid comments. Oh, apologies. Bring you on over to what I'm looking at. All right. Yeah, we could start one of the tour series. I don't know if there's any stories that I know of that are, or at least offhand, that are kind of 15-minute tales. However, I can check real quick. Let's see. Let's just see my my little short stories bookmarks. Ooh, I have no mouth and I must scream. That one was intense. There Will Come Soft Rains, yeah, by Ray Bradbury. 9 Billion Names of God. The Egg. The Egg is a good one. That's pretty short, actually. You guys know this one? Creative plot twist. It's all Mitch. It's been Merry Mitch this whole time. How did you know? Or perhaps, I don't know, perhaps we load up a little video game for the ending? I'm not sure. Usually, like, if there were 30 minutes left, I'd probably be down to read a little bit of something else, but given there's not as much time left as I would like, play a little something. Merry Mitchmas. Now we're talking. True. Do we have another stream after this one? Before Christmas happens? $12:23? Okay. So I was about to say I could pull up a little Christmas tale, but we're gonna save that for Thursday. And be bringing you some. Well, I'll be bringing you some Christmas tales and possibly the Ash, the Ash Girl and Salmon Prince Part 2. We may have to wait until the one after Christmas to see the Ash Girl and the Salmon Prince again. Oh, Biba Tech, that would mean the world to us. Honestly, I know it would to me. I'll try to find some especially cool Christmas tales. I wonder if they have any on here.
Christmas. A Pottermore Christmas? Wait, like Harry Potter? Christmas Snow? The Christmas Snow by Pat Cadigan is the perfect Christmas story about a pair of sisters under a mysterious curse that forces them to travel around the US producing local theatrical productions. This Xmas, they're producing a Christmas Carol with the real ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come. Humorous and charming. Ooh, that's a long one though. I'll have to check that one out beforehand. And the ghosts of Christmas. Which is harder, seeing your own future or truly knowing your past? Enjoy this year's Tour.com holiday story, The Ghosts of Christmas, a new original story by Paul Cornell. The one that did Doctor Who? Ooh, might have to check this one out. And those are the only Christmas stories. The 12 Doctors of Christmas. What? Cthulhu Christmas cards? Yes! The medieval origins of Christmas traditions. Oh, the 12 Doctors of Christmas is about, like the Doctor? Doctor Who? Beavatech. Do you really think I don't know? You're gonna have to go harder than that to get me. Come on. The blessed meaninglessness of the Nightmare Before Christmas? Have yourself a dark and terrifying Christmas? Are you tired of It's a Wonderful Life? As the elf plummeted from the shelf, I've gathered some darker Christmas fare, from Krampus tales to explorations of addiction, from hideous laughing reindeer to machine guns. So allow me to fill your stocking with some twisted holiday classics. Oh, these are short films. Shoot. Home Alone 2. That's the darkest tale in all of Christmas film history. I'm serious. Santa's Sleigh. Scrooged. Ghostbusters 2. There's Christmas in that film? I had no idea. Die Hard. Father Christmas, A Wonder Tale of the North. A tale of fatherhood, motherhood, what you'd give and what you'd become. Yo, okay. This one's piqued my interest. It's from 2014. Christmas in the Stars. Aliens encounter the holidays. A Cosmic Christmas. The Three Wise Aliens. Dude, what is this? This 1977 special was Canadian company Nelvana's first foray into television. Shortly after completing this one, they moved to a Halloween special, The Devil and Daniel Mouse, before tackling the most important holiday of them all, Life Day, in their short film Faithful Wookiee. Bro, what? Yeah. It would be like bump ba bump. Because, you know, you're watching the stream on a CRTV. I'm assuming. I have to assume. Also, while we're just kind of hanging, let's bring back the jams. Copyright trail is next after this stream. Magma Fish band name dibs? Yo. Yes. You have played copyrighted music and we'll sue you. UMG? What is UMG? Let's see, which featured in the Star Wars Holiday Special. A Cosmic Christmas is regretfully Wookiee-free, but it does have a startlingly simplistic holiday message imparted by aliens. Kinda. 3 aliens who look like they've been shipped in from Fantastic Planet land on Earth on Christmas Eve, searching for the meaning behind the transitory celestial phenomenon that occurred on Earth 2,000 years ago. Unfortunately, they've landed on the mean streets of Canada, so they find a town ridden with teenage hippies and people who seem to be pretty into Christmas, but not as into it as a 10-year-old boy wants them to be. Said 10-year-old boy, Peter, greets the aliens, who ask him about the meaning of the star. He yells in reply, "You mean Christmas?" Rather than asking him to elaborate on this one-word answer, they ask how Christmas can be measured. So Peter does his best Linus von Pelt impression. We celebrate every year with love, peace, and caring for others. Apparently, the aliens managed to find the only preteen in history who wouldn't just scream presents and then jump up and down in a fit of Christmas cookie-induced mania. Bro, is that what the writer thinks kids will do? Lay. Schnellbach, come on. Dude, some of these images. I gotta see this movie. Are you guys seeing this? That's beautiful. Jeez, what is this? George and the Christmas Star does not exactly fit with the rest of these specials, but it's set in space, and there are aliens. Oh wait, hang on. So this one is called A Cosmic Christmas. This one is Snout Spout in the role he was born for. What is this one from, though? Please tell me. This late December, Urge becomes extra fun when sci-fi shows try it. Alright, well, we're gonna have to, it's, gosh, it's Discord light mode. I agree entirely. Alright, well, it's about time to say goodbye, guys. So, hey, thanks for joining me in discovering the Ash Girl and the Salmon Prince, and taking a little detour to check on some Christmas short stories for next time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Three Attic Network stream. And thank you for bringing merriment to this stream. Remember to take the merriment that we found together today. Let it set you at ease as you go forth with the rest of your goings-ons. And let it carry you into tomorrow. Love you guys very much. And I've been Merry Mitch. Say hey to Sweetest Bean for me. Show her some love. And until next time, I'll see you next time for some Christmas short stories. Much love again. Goodbye for now.